Something also is released here, and that's the intrinsic factor. The intrinsic factor is very important for the absorption of B12. So let me give you the B12 story. Let's pretend that this is B12. In food, B12 is bound up with an R protein. And when B12 and the R protein come into the stomach, hydrochloric acid breaks that union. What also is released in the stomach is intrinsic factor. Now, intrinsic factor and the free B12 travel together all the way down the gut until they get to the last part of the small intestine. Then intrinsic factor and B12 unite, and they're absorbed now into the body. So if someone has low B12, it could simply mean they've got low hydrochloric acid, or their gut is not making intrinsic factor. Because once the B12's absorbed, there's an enterohepatic circulation that connects this area with the liver, and B12 can be constantly circulating. So someone can have no B12 in their diet for 30 years before they can show a B12 deficiency. So if someone has a B12 deficiency, the first thing I look at is the function of the stomach. And one of the signs that someone has low hydrochloric acid is they've eaten a meal, 6 hours later, they're still feeling full. You see, if we had nice, strong hydrochloric acid, it breaks down the food, of course, with the connection of pepsinogen quite quickly. I've never met anyone with too much acid in their stomach. If someone says, I've got an over-acid stomach, my question is, how do you know? Oh, I can feel it burning. Oh, the problem's not the acid. The problem might be you're dehydrated and you haven't got enough mucus, because mucus is 99% water. I know it's acid because it keeps coming up here. Well, the problem's not the acid. The problem is this little gate here. You see that little gate called the cardiac sphincter? It should be closed, and if it's closed, no acid will come up. So why would acid come up? Because that little gate is weak. Why would it be weak? A lot of people today have breakfast like a pauper, lunch like a pauper, and dinner is the king and the queen together. And then they lie down at night and gravity presses against that little cardiac sphincter, weakening it. And that little muscle, well, that little sphincter is a muscle, and when it's relaxed, it's closed. And when it tightens, it opens. So stress when all the muscles tighten can open it. So two things will heal reflux or heartburn. One is eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and dinner like a pauper, or you say supper. And take magnesium 3 times a day. Is it that simple? It is. Isn't that good news? And if someone takes antacid to stop the acid going up, what's my next question? What's going to break the protein down now? Huh? And you know what long-term low antacids they're finding is producing now? Colon cancer. Because the protein's not getting broken down, partially digested protein is reaching the large colon, and then the body says, what are you doing here? Quick, we have to create a lot of bacteria to deal with that, and that excess bacteria can start eating down the colon wall. And if someone says to me, I've been on antacids for 25 years, is it working? 25 years? What's the definition of insanity? To do what you've always done and expect different results?